Hi guys, we are live. I thought I'd jump on and just say hello to everyone, see how you're doing, and see if we were up for having a chat about all things carnivore and all things nutrition. So I'll kick around here. Oh, we've got the one person in. As you come in, can you please do me a huge favor, smash the like button, and also let me know where you're coming in from. So I'm in Japan. It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning here, and you can probably tell behind me I'm sitting in Starbucks. And also, just to make sure I'm not talking to myself, can you put a one in the chat box if you can hear me? That would be much appreciated. And also, as you come in, if you've got any questions for me at all, hey John, how you doing? Apple Valley, California. Okay. Oh, nice. Thank you very much. All right. So, guys, yeah, smash that like button. That'll bring more people in here. And also, it's great to have you with me. Thank you very much, Missouri. Okay. And it's nighttime now. Okay. Nice to see you, Perry. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Excellent. So, recently, uh, I've been recently. I've been continuing on my journey with carnivore, and it's amazing how much better you seem to feel every day, and you just notice these little things every day about how much better you are feeling. And one of the things that I noticed on my walk towards Starbucks today was just looking in the window of a shop as I was walking past, and I noticed my reflection. And I've talked about this before, but my gait has improved. My limp has improved since being on carnivore. That was caused from a stroke that I suffered when I was 17, and just walking past the window, and it's just amazing to look at my reflection and go, well, there's still a limp there, but it's nothing like what it was. It's so much more coordinated than what it was. Hey, no, how you going? Hey, from Singapore. Awesome. That's great. Thank you for joining. What part of Singapore are you in? No? The main part of Singapore, the part of Singapore that I know is around Tanjong Pagar Station. That's where I used to do some training. So know that kind of area around the Millennial Hotel, but that's about it. And I can't remember the name of the place down by the wharf. Yeah. Okay, John says, what do you do in Japan for money? Internet marketing like your other channel. I enjoyed your elegant speaking style and culture, boss. Cheers, John. Yeah, look, I've got other internet channels. Sorry, internet channel, YouTube channels. But also, I do some marketing and stuff like that. And I've also got a full-time job in Japan, which I will be going to in the not too distant future. So that's I'm sitting at the coffee shop now on my way. So this is my stop off. Somewhere in the east. Okay, thanks, no. Okay, so we've got 13 people in now, but only 4 likes. Please, guys, can you smash the like button, and that will bring more people in, and we'll get much better conversation going. Okay, John says, "Oh wow, so this is your morning. I forgot about how things are flipped over there. Yeah, everything's flipped. Well, the only thing is, John, I guess you're from the States, so yeah, everything's flipped except the weather. I think we're experiencing pretty much the same weather at the moment. Yeah, from Texas. Oh, maybe I don't know. I don't know what's the temperature like in Texas at the moment. Maybe it's a bit warmer there for you. But it's below um, 10 degrees Celsius, and I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. Let me use Google to find that out. 10 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit, and that is 50 degrees at the moment. Okay, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty cold, chilly. It's not awful, but the houses don't have very good insulation in Japan, so it's very cold at night. Elisa says hello from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Oh, g'day! Thank you for checking in from Albuquerque. That reminds me of Bugs Bunny. I'm sorry. Albuquerque. What is it? Bugs Bunny used to say, "Oh, I must have took a wrong turn at Albuquerque." Okay, so John said, we had autumn for about a day, beautiful colors in the trees, and wind came out and blew them out the next day. That's kind of what it's like here. Summer is very long, winter is very long. We get a nice spring and a nice autumn, but they both last for about a week or two. Valentine, Dr. Ken Berry just finished his Monday Night Live, so you should have some more coming now. Oh, nice. Okay, nice. Actually, I didn't like I've seen some of his lives, but I usually see his lives after the fact. So I'm subscribed. I must not have notifications turned on. So I'd like to join in with one of his lives, just to kind of the feeling of being online watching live rather than watching after the fact is pretty cool, I think. Lisa, yes. John says, "Have you heard of Liver King?" Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I saw the Liver King thing, but I up until this happened, I hadn't heard of him. Right? I mean, I think I probably heard people mention him, but I was like, "Who's this guy?" I don't know. But yeah, it's a bit of a scandal. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. I think that to me, honestly, the biggest scandal is just that he was lying, right? Not that he was taking the performance enhancing drugs or whatever, just that he was lying about it in the first place. But I get that's probably what most people are irritated about. 7 p.m. Central Time every Monday. Okay, cool. But yeah, I think I'll probably get notifications about it. Ben, given it's I'm awake anyway, so I don't have notifications on. So I'll turn those on. See, John, see the guy is a marketing genius. Now it's revealed he's juiced even more people know him. Yeah, and I mean, I've seen Joe Rogan was talking about him yesterday, the day before, um, in an interview with the More Plates, More Dates guy, and like Joe Rogan was just talking about how like the price of the stuff he was selling was just crazy high. Yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of coming into it pretty fresh because I didn't really know a great. I hadn't even seen him until this happened. But yeah, it's scandalous. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, you got any questions about anything I've been doing on Carnivore? Anything about Japan? Anything about anything? Oh, okay. John Scott, do you do any other meats? Do you mix any seafood or venison? I don't. I feel like I should because I feel like variety is probably a good thing. Like sticking to just the one thing all the time is probably not the best idea. Like I'm having some pork because when I have ground beef, it's like, 60-40 split between beef and pork. But I feel like I should be eating, salmon and maybe some seafood, like, shrimp or, as we would say in Australia, prawns. Okay. So I would like to do that, but I'm very kind of time poor, and because I'm so time poor, I just kind of stick to the same thing all the time. So I should get some more variety, and then that's actually a good reminder, John. Okay, cheese. Yes, I do eat cheese, but it's not a good quality cheese, and I that's another thing I need to upgrade when I have a little bit of time. Okay, John. Yeah, the only organ meat liver supplement I use is the one that Mark Smelly Belly Abs puts out called Street Shake. It's actually pretty delicious. Who's Mark Smelly Belly Abs? Okay, Richmond, Texas. Since you are in the seafood capital of the world, do you eat much? I don't. I should. I if I was hungry, just when I'm out and about, I can just pop into a shop and get some sashimi or something. It's pretty easy. But I've got this rigid kind of, at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing this kind of schedule. And because I'm not sleeping much, I tend to stick to that schedule pretty strictly because when I go against that schedule and do something new, that means I end up getting a little bit less sleep, probably. But yes, I do need to add more seafood. Hello, Irene. How you doing? Lisa, thank you for joining. What is the type of restaurant where you got to grill your meat? Love that. So that's called yakiniku. Basically, it's actually not it's not a Japanese invention. It's basically Korean barbecue. But Korean barbecue is an imported thing in Japan that's really, really popular here, and it's really easy to find. The yakiniku place that I went to, I ended up going to just for convenience's sake. Like it was close and the timing was right when they could let me film in there and all that kind of thing. Um, but there are actually better value yakiniku restaurants out there, um, and that's probably the majority of them, because you can go in there, pay $30, and you can eat all the meat you want for 2 hours, which is really good. So they've got all you can eat. So they've got tabe hodai, which is all you can eat, and nomi hodai, which is all you can drink. So if you're still drinking like wine, beer, that kind of thing, then you can also go at it with that too. And that's something that would never work in Australia. It's like all you can drink alcohol. So it would be everyone would just be going in there going, hook me up. All right. So okay, John says you mentioned in one of your comments you traveled a lot in the 90s. What are some of the jobs you've had in the past? Do you see like someone who would be good at sales or human resources to me, sir? Human resources. Oh my goodness. No, I'm actually a computer programmer. I've been programming since I was 10 years old, since my fourth grade teacher brought an Apple IIe, I think, or Apple IIc, maybe Apple IIc computer into the classroom. And I liked pushing the buttons, and so I taught myself how to program in like Logo and the Basic and that kind of thing. So I'm a computer programmer, and I traveled a lot with that. And then on coming to Japan, my career kind of changed a little bit, and I became a public speaking trainer. And what I actually found is that one of the things I love most in the world is public speaking. There's nothing quite as nice as standing in front of a group of people and saying something that gets a reaction from everyone in the audience. It's really kind of cool. And when you see that as a public speaker, then you can kind of understand why people, like comedians, end up, gravitating to stand up. Why they would like that, because it's such a rush to get a response from the audience, whether it's a laugh or it's like surprise, whatever the reaction is. So yeah, so computer programmer, kind of on the job trained computer programmer, and public speaking trainer. And with the computer programming, I traveled to London, South Africa, LA, um, Hong Kong, New Zealand. Although I kind of don't feel like New Zealand's really a place to say I travel to, given like I feel like New Zealand and Australia are so close to each other. It's almost like a domestic flight. Um, anyway, so yes, that's my kind of story, John. Lloyd, how you going? Thanks for joining. Okay, K9SBB22 John says that was a typo. Mark Smelly Bell. Ah, he's also a carnivore. Oh, okay. Okay. I have a feeling that's something I've heard from Bart K about someone like Mark Smelly Bell or something. Maybe I do know who you're talking about. Maybe Bart K's interviewed him or commented on his videos or something. Lisa says, was a vegan for 8 years. I have no idea what I'm doing, buying steaks, cooking it, etc. So like watching carnivores cook. Oh, cool. Vegan for 8 years. Wow. Um, so, Lisa, what was it that got you to go from being vegan to kind of switch over to the dark side? Why did you come over to carnivore? Was it just health concerns, or were you just a bit tired of vegan food? Um, Alan, good for you, Lisa. Do you feel better? Oh, yes. Similar question. John, Lisa, welcome to the community. Um, Yes, says, hey, I'm pretty convinced about the carnivore diet, but before I go on it, I want to learn the basics of nutrition. Where should I start? Honestly, what I think you should do is, if you want to really feel secure about what you're doing with the diet, I would recommend watching a lot of Bart Kay's videos and watching a lot of Dr. Ken Berry's videos. They are both very, very good. And they'll give you a lot of information and they dispel a lot of the myths. Like people would say, you're not going to get any vitamin C on carnivore and all that kind of thing. And you can learn why you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Okay, so my comments just jumped. All right, so look, we go. Pretty okay. Carmen says, hello from Covina, California. Thank you for all your info. I learned so much. Cheers. Thanks, Carmen. Thanks. So it's a long time since I've lived in California, but is Covina anywhere near downtown LA? So when I was in California, I lived in downtown LA, and I guess the street I lived on and worked on, I worked across the street from where I lived, was Figueroa. I think it was South Figueroa, but this is like 1997, 1998. I think the building I worked in, the name has since changed, but it used to be the Union Bank of California building, but I think it's since changed. Okay, so where are we? Okay, Richmond, Texas. Have you experienced any heart palpitations during your carnivore journey? It seems it's a common experience due to electrolyte imbalance. I haven't experienced any heart palpitations. I regarding electrolytes, what I did experience was muscle cramping in the morning, and in my legs, and I just started adding salt to my water, just like one bottle of water that I was drinking. So it's like the first bottle in the morning, the 500 mils or something, and that's cleared it up for the most part. And I feel like when I do get the occasional muscle cramp now, I look back and I think, I haven't had any salt for a little bit longer than I otherwise would have. So that's what I've been doing. Alan says, I love carnivore diet. I can't see going back to eating plants, 7 months in prison. I'm exactly the same. I like it's almost 6 months for me, right? It's 6 months since I started and went down to keto, and it's probably just under 6 months since I went full carnivore. And I can't imagine going back. I mean, first of all, for the feeling, the health benefits that I've got, the improved walking, the brightness I feel just in mood and all that kind of thing, and the lack of gum disease. That's a big one. Being able to brush your teeth without worrying about like I'm going to break the gum or I'm going to get blood here or whatever. Is just so nice. And the other thing is, it's just so simple. I don't have to think about food for the rest of the day. I've had my breakfast and I'll never think about food again, and it's so easy. So, Alan, I totally agree with you. Big Juice says, hello, Mr. Mac and Cheese. Hello, how you doing? And he says, hope you're well. Yes, I am, and I hope you're doing well too, Big Juice. Okay, so what do we got? Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Big Juice. That is much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. $30. Well, basically, $31 is. I can't even. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm kind of speechless seeing that there come up on the screen. Um, so, Big Juice. Hope you're well, mate. That sounds a bit. Are you from Australia? Oh, you are from Australia. That's Australian dollars. Okay, whereabouts in Australia are you from? Myself, I'm originally a Melbourneite, but I class myself as a quasi Queenslander now because my parents now live in Queensland. So, the end of the year, I'll be visiting Cairns for the first time. So, to date, I've only been in Cairns Airport. So, I'm looking forward to checking Cairns out. Okay, in Japan, you prefer Japanese beef or American Australian beef? I tend to prefer Japanese beef because the American or Australian beef that we get here tends to be super lean. And whereas the Japanese beef tends to have fat marbled all the way through it. So yeah, I would prefer Japanese beef here, but that's more because of the type that comes in. Alan says, NES, you won't die eating only meat. I say start and find the information as you go. Yeah, honestly, actually, NES, that's what I did too. I just kind of got started and have been discovering things as I go. I've got another video coming out this week about something else that I've just discovered and about what I can eat and how good it is. And yeah, I mean, I'm Alan's 7 months in. I'm basically 6 months in, and I've never. I think Alan would agree. We've never felt better. So yeah, it's a good idea. Give it a go, NES. John, so you were doing the computer programming from company to company overseas, or were you freelancing online and traveling at the same time? Oh no, it was the same company. They were just setting up offices overseas, and I was like the time. It was awesome for me. Like I was 20 years old. So 20-year-olds, you start working at a company in Australia, and they say, "Hey, I noticed that you've got a British passport, so it's going to be pretty easy for you to also enter some other countries to work for us. You want to help us set up offices overseas?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, okay." As a 20-year-old, that's a pretty good offer. And yeah, 3 years of traveling around and doing stuff, and yeah, I think the most interesting country for me at the time was Hong Kong, but that was because that was my first exposure to Asia. Um, Out of the countries that I visited, the one that I want to go back to the most is the UK. Like I'd want to spend more time in London, and probably the most beautiful place that I visited was South Africa. I was in Cape Town, and South Africa. The the nature and the scenery. It's very much like being in Australia, but there are differences that make it look really kind of really nice, really beautiful. And one of those is like Table Mountain in Cape Town. You know, it's so cool to see this mountain with this tablecloth of cloud lying across the top. Yeah, but yeah, that's some of my traveling experiences. So where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Okay. So Steve, good work. Thank you, Brian. Ohio, Ohio gozaimasu. Brian, are you in Tokyo or are you just a student of Japanese? I'm not sure. Is that a chikara you've got on your profile icon there? Alan, bad cases, carbohydrates are not required ever in human life. Therefore, we have to eat animal products. Well, yeah, I mean, like, I mean, my experience would certainly bear that out, and probably most of the people that are logged on at the moment, their experience would bear that out as well. So, like, you always get told you got to have fiber because if you don't have fiber, that's it. The it's going to be coming out your ears because it's not coming out the other end, and that's certainly not my experience at all. And yeah, it's if anything probably better, if better is a good description. um, so Lisa says being vegan was very hard on my body. Now I'm sensitive to a lot of vegetables and grains, living with inflammation and that. Yeah. um, yes. I mean, it must. I guess it's going to be quite extreme with a vegan diet. I guess because you've got so many more inflammatory things that you're adding. At least if you're eating a standard diet, there's you're eating non-inflammatory stuff like meat and eggs at times. But yeah, I mean, this is a perfect way the perfect thing to do is to change, right? And when people say to you, yeah, but aren't you worried about don't you want to live a little? And it's, well, I'd rather be pain free than indulge in that vegetable pie or those chocolate cakes or whatever, you know. Steve, I only eat organic, so what grade of beef should I buy? How? find a good source? That's a good question. Honestly, I would struggle. I struggle to answer that question because being in Japan, it's hard to source anything that's particularly good. You just got to get what you think is good and keep your fingers crossed, because I think this is the kind of thing in Japan. Like they have good beef, but actually you don't know what's really happening to it at any of this at any stage of production. So yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Edward says, hello from Athens, Georgia. Hello. Wow. Irene, do you drink a lot of water? Yes, I drink around about 5 liters of water a day. I found, though, I don't drink as much since I've been adding sugar. I was going to say sugar. Since I've been adding salt to my water, I find that I'm not drinking as much as I was. And I think probably what I was doing is when I was drinking water before, I was just like basically pouring the water in one end and it was coming out the other. And with the salt, my body's actually retaining a bit more of the water, so I don't feel as dehydrated or as thirsty. Um, yeah, but it's about 5 liters probably, give or take. Um, okay. Yeah. Retired. I'm from Melbourne too, northern suburbs, West Preston. Oh, that's maybe I talked to you about that in the comments before. Yeah. So I'm from out near Dandenong. Um, yeah. Okay. So again, thank you very much, Big Juice. Uh, So Alan says, Steve, by the way, what can you afford? The price goes up with the better quality. Okay. Yes, good question. So I buy grain-fed select grade ribeyes for $6 a pound. That works for me. Based on some of the prices in Japan, $6 a pound sounds pretty good for ribeyes. Steve, I'm told the fine cuts are not as healthy as the fattier cuts. Am I right? Yes. Lisa, I like Bellshine. I think that's in. I used to be her, lol, but realized I was just hungry and needed real food. So thank you very much. So what I've actually noticed is I certainly noticed in the last video because of the lighting the color of the wig that I got for Bellshine is actually kind of I feel it helps with the maybe the vegan look a little bit because the lighter color hair with my lighter skin really kind of shows up the circles under my eyes. And so like the Bellshine character, when she was talking to the me character the other day, I really noticed like with Bellshine, she looks much sicker than I did, and yeah, it was that was kind of interesting. Okay, so where are we? Okay, Steve, all meat is healthy. Eat the customer first. Yeah, agreed. Just eat whatever you can, as long as you're not eating the evil foods, the carbohydrates and stuff. You can do fine. Um, Maria says greetings from Binghamton. I'm maybe butchering that. I'm sorry, Binghamton, New York. Love you folks. Thank you so much, Marie. Okay, I dear right. So one thing's been happening recently. Sometimes YouTube will tell me someone's username, and sometimes it'll tell me the name they've actually set for themselves, not just the handle username. But D-Right, I had a feeling it told me that your name is Dustin. That's right, yeah? So popped in to say hello and drop a like. Got company, but we'll check out the replay later. Learn more about coffee and oils this week. Good stuff. Keep up the good work. Cheers. Thanks for dropping by. John, I think you mentioned you have a partner. Have you convinced them to go carnivore? Not trying to be nosy, just no. I haven't convinced her to go carnivore. Um, I uh, I've convinced her not to worry about me doing it, and part of that is through the results that she's seen with me. Like she's quite excited as she finds an old photo of me now, and she'll send it to me and say, look at the difference and that kind of thing. So she's supportive, but she's not ready to do it herself. And I think it would be tough to get her to change over, at least in the short term. Maybe after she's seen me do it for a longer period of time with no complications, and maybe good results when I get my medical exams and that kind of thing, maybe that'll convince her. Um, I think she's a nurse, so of course, when everything she's taught, it goes counter to everything that nurses are taught, and the same as doctors would be taught. So it'll take a while, I think. Uh, Fiji Dandy is a lovely place to eat. Best Afghan food in that area. Wow, I haven't tried that stuff out, but it is a long time since I've been there. I kind of miss the old digs a little bit, but yeah, I'm definitely going to enjoy being back in Oz and in Cairns. Although I hear it's about 40 odd degrees at times at the moment. So I'm going literally out of the uh, not hot frying pan into the fire. So after losing 70 pounds on keto carnivore, I've been lifting weights at home for 2 months. I'm amazed how quickly strength and muscle recovery is going. Yes. So Richmond TX, yes, you're experiencing fast muscle growth. I've never in my life experienced visible muscle growth from day to day, from week to week, and like it's just I can't. But all I'm doing is push-ups and crunches, and it's like it's noticeable. And of course, immediately after you do it, you get that bit of swollen, pumped upness or whatever. But like when I wake up in the morning, I'll be like, feels stronger and bigger, and look in the mirror, and it's like, yeah, it's much more defined. And I think that's another motivating factor about carnivore. It just everything just works. So yeah. Um, okay, so Jayan says, do you find the online carnivore community to be dogmatic? Some people do enjoy and do fine with some veg fruits, honey. So I don't find. Uh, I think it's person by person, but overall, generally, Jayan, I don't find the carnivore community online to be that dogmatic. For example, I mean, I would define dogmatic as, everyone getting up in arms because I'm drinking a coffee now because, oh, that's plant based, you're not a carnivore, hand back your card or whatever. Um, so I do know there's a lot of people that I honestly haven't watched any of his videos, but I do know there's a lot of people that don't like that. I think it's Paul Saladino has, he has fruit and honey and stuff like that, and they're quite anti him. But I probably think that's more to do with um, the fact that he started out not doing that and was probably again, I don't know. I haven't watched any of his videos. Probably preaching just do carnivore, just do meat only, blah 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 blah, meat and eggs, meat and eggs, meat and eggs, and then switched. And then I don't know. Like I think if that's working for him, whatever. But some people may feel like it's I don't know a little bit of uh, he's going against what he preached to them for so long when they'd followed his directions or something like that. So, but I overall I don't find the community dogmatic at all. I find the community supportive, and if for example if I was having a problem, I'm sure if I posted or made a video about it, whether I was doing something that was anti-carnivore or not, I'm sure I'd get a lot of supportive help and advice about how to fix whatever problem I was having. Nimish, hello from Arizona, USA. How did you discover the carnivore diet? So what happened is I went keto because I was likely pre-diabetic, and I had a couple of other things that I've made videos about that I wanted to fix. And so I just June 3rd went keto, cut out all the sugars, and I knew low carb works, keto works because I've done the Atkins diet in the past, so I knew I was on safe ground. I cut all that out, cut out the alcohol, cut out everything, and I was losing weight, doing well, but I noticed that I was getting stomach upsets, and I after I'd eaten, it felt like food was just going straight through me. And I know it probably wasn't the actual food going straight through me, but it felt like there was something wrong. And so I started doing research on what I was eating, and I was like, I'd never had a problem on low carb before. What am I doing different now? What I was doing different was I was having like bok choy and like red pepper and yellow pepper and stuff like that in my breakfast, and that was to make sure I was getting enough vitamin C. And so anyway, I did some research, and I came across a video that was talking about how those vegetables can actually be bad for you because they're like nightshade vegetables, and they've got a lot of, I don't know what it is, pectins, mectins, lectins, I don't know what's called. And yeah, it's got a lot of those in them, which are basically defenses and all that kind of thing. And then that, after watching that video, I thought, okay, well, I'll just cut it out. I'll just eat the meat and the eggs, and I'll see how it goes. And that's how I got onto it. I just fell into it. But of course, what also happened is when I found that video again, I think it was Ken Berry's video, but I'm not sure. That led me down a rabbit hole. That led me down. I found Joey and from Carnivore Camaraderie, and I found Bart K, and that just led me down the rabbit hole. And I was like, every video I watched just convinced me, yeah, just stop doing the vegetables, and that's where I am now. So that was over. So I just fell into it, but it was intentional that I was losing weight and stuff, and I was at least going on keto. But yeah. John says, "What is that Lovecraftian looking lamp?" Ah, so the lamp, John, is it's a lamp that was made by a friend of mine. He used to make lamps out of Japanese washi paper, and so he'd make a wire frame, and then he would just layer the Japanese paper on top of it and keep layering the paper on top of it until it was like just as if you were doing paper mache almost, and until it was thick, and then it would dry, and that's it. And it doesn't work anymore. I had it in storage, and it something it got broken, but yeah, it's just kind of cool little ornament sitting behind me now. Uh, and Lisa was wondering the same thing too. So that was the actual idea for one of my other channels. I put it there as a kind of engagement technique, but no one on that channel asked me about it. It's only you guys that have actually paid attention. So uh, do you do any sort of exercise? Sorry, the sun's in my eyes, so I can't see who that's from. Kenji. So Kenji, yes, I do exercise. Like I walk a lot every day. That's just a result of living in Japan. So probably walk about an hour to an hour and a half a day. And other than that, I do crunches and push-ups every morning, and that's it. TJ, hello from Texas. Hey, how you doing? Jayan says, "Do you follow?" It goes down squinting now. I'm gonna move a little bit down. Hold on one second. Okay. So the sun's out of my eyes for about 5 more minutes. Okay. So do you follow Elliot Overton on YouTube? He promotes animal based, but also has some supplements to address symptoms that carnivore alone has. Is Elliot Overton, is that the guy's like EO Nutrition or something like that? If it is, I think I saw one of his videos the other day and I started following him. So, yes, I'm pretty sure I am following him. But I only found him the other day. John, never get rid of the lap. It is like, it is iconic, sir. Okay, I'll make sure I keep it, and I'll let my friend know that you said that. Nimish, thank you for answering my question. Your videos are super motivating for me. Thank you for watching, Namisha. John says, it's funny. I thought that lamp was originally the bones of some kind of animal. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what I'll say from now on. When people ask me, I'll just say like it's it's some animal that I ate and the bones are left. Marie says plant toxins like lectins and oxalates are screwed most people. Dr. Gundry talks about lectins and silicate Norton has done a lot of research on oxalates. Yeah, it's amazing. Like if I, something. This is kind of off. Yes, EL Nutrition. Ah, thanks, Jane. Yeah, I am following him. Yeah. Um, Something I noticed the other day, just on Marie's point about lectins and oxalates. Well, it's actually not on that point at all. It's just semi-related. So I find that since I've been doing this diet, a lot of my senses have become stronger, more sensitive. And so what I'm noticing is, like, for example, just when I'm tasting something, I if there's something remotely sweet in the food or the drink that I've had, then I notice instantly. And yesterday I was at a different Starbucks to the one that I usually am at, and it feels like I'm a sponsor of Starbucks. And so, yeah, yesterday I was at a different store, and I think some cocoa dust or something had, accidentally gone into my cup or been knocked against the side of my cup or something like that. Because I could not drink the coffee. I was like, I tasted it. I'm like, there's something wrong with this. And then just, I got this feeling like, yeah, this is like a chocolate or a cocoa flavor or something like that. And it's just the senses about everything, especially sense of smell. If you walk past a bread shop, it's like I feel sick if I smell bread in a bread shop, cooking in a bread shop as I walk past now. It's yeah. So yeah, I feel senses are heightened. So John, one carnivore trick you might like, sir, is putting ghee or Irish butter in your coffee. Man, oh man, that gives you the boost. Yes, I tried a little bit of butter the other day. It was really nice. I need to put a bit more in though. I don't think I put enough. Big Juice, join Dave's new channel, Starbucks Live. Yes, exactly. What's your go-to Starbucks coffee? I'm just grande hot drip coffee. I don't know. It's just normal, ordinary black coffee, as strong as I can get. And yeah, so if they've got like two or three options, I just go for the most dark. Um, so in Japan, when you're ordering coffee, if you want the strongest coffee and they say, which one would you like? You just say, Ichiban Koi. So what do we got? Jayan, are Japanese beef also grain finished? I hope not. Actually, so that's what I don't know. Like, I haven't found clear information anywhere about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. And yeah, it's not easy to find that out. And part of the reason it's not easy to find that out is because generally Japanese people probably wouldn't appreciate the idea of why that's a good thing. What they're going to appreciate is the look and the taste of, the marbled beef more than anything. They're not actually going to look at the process and why the process is important. The thing that's important for them is the marbling and that kind of thing. But anyway, guys, I've been banging on for 40 odd minutes now. I'm gonna have to go because I need to get to my day job, which starts in 19 minutes from now, and I've still got a 15-minute walk. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope we can do another one soon. Lloyd, thank you very much. You too. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one, guys. Cheers.